Alright, I hope this is working. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hello everybody and welcome to the 12th race of the 2023 Samsung Offline Racing League. We're here at one of the most famous racetracks in the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we're here for the 12th race of the season, as I said earlier. This is going to be an interesting race. Obviously, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is always a fun one, and can be at times quite chaotic, and so not sure what to really expect going into this one. In previous iterations of the series on the channel, we've won using the 2014 Indianapolis. Today we're going back to the 2010 version, as in testing the racing has been a bit better, so we'll roll with this one. And this race is going to be 40 laps long. It's going to have one pit stop. I highly doubt we'll have two, but if there's like a crash on the first lap, then we might see, and then another crash later on, we might see cars come down twice, potentially, but most likely we'll see only the one stop. It's 2.5 miles in length, this racetrack. It's a rectangular oval, it's what they call it. I like to just call it a rectangular racetrack because that's basically what it is. It's a bit of a different challenge for these guys, in the sense that this is the only rectangular racetrack, obviously, on the schedule. So it's gonna be a different type of. It's gonna be an interesting challenge to see how these guys go. 100 miles in length, this race, so it should be. It's gonna be long in distance, but it's about kind of normal for what we kind of do here on the channel in this series, and really looking forward to this race. Well, for me, it's this morning. It's probably this evening for a lot of you. So, point standings coming into this race. Very interesting because Thomas Truxell has the championship lead by only 2 points. So it's very close at the moment. Truxell leads by 2 points over Brandon Beal, our last winner in the series. Now, Truxell starts 37th in this race. He has a lot of work to do. Way down the order, Brandon Beal starts in the top 10. So Beal 2 points behind. Fresh off that win at Watkins Glen. He carrying a lot of momentum at the moment, number 37. He's got a good starting spot for this race. Henry Guar is third in the points, the winner at Texas. He's 8 points behind, so didn't have a great race at Texas. He won at Texas, but didn't have a great race at Watkins Glen. He's still third in the points, 8 points behind. And then Nicholas Samadillo, you see him on the screen there in the number 97. He is fifth in the championship and fourth in the championship, starts fifth today, 12 points behind. He is clearly the best starting spot out of the guys in the top 10 in points. Alejandro Cruz Jr. has very quietly moved his way up to fifth in the championship. He's finished sixth or seventh in 5 of the last 6 races, which is very impressive. Hasn't had a top 5 all year, but 5 top 10s is the most for any driver in the series. He's fifth in the championship. Our Atlanta winner, Owen Miles, who starts dead last today. He starts right at the very back. He comes into this race 6th in the championship, 36 behind. Alejandro Cruz 5th in the championship, 34 behind. He starts 35th in this race. Ricardo Garcia is still 7th in the championship. He starts 27th in this race. He's 39 behind. Our South Boston winner in Jake Rogers, he will start from 25th today, and he is in the 8th position in the championship, 43 points behind. And then Paul-Antoine Sierre in the 69 will start from 24th today. He's 9th in the championship. And Dominic Anthony, who quite frankly blew that race last week at Watkins Glen, was given it thanks to some honestly ridiculous driving. He is 10th in the championship, 46 behind. He finished 3rd last week, so and he starts a long way back as well, 30th. So there's only 2 cars out of the top 10 points starting in the top 20 today. So the wonders of life for a lot of people. But the field's still pretty tight. The top 23 down to Roberto Crown Jr. are all within a race win off the championship lead. So with 8 races to go, a lot of drivers could, still very much win the championship. But I've got to get a wriggle on now, that is for sure. We'll get to the starting lineup. We'll go through the top 10 here, and we've got 2 winners on the front row of the grid. Number 23 of James Stack, the first winner of the season at Daytona. He's on the pole. That's his 2nd pole of the year. And James Jefferson, the Las Vegas winner, will join him on the front row. Jerry Chen in the number 36 starts from the 3rd position, and our Kansas winner, John Stewart, will start from the 4th position. As I said before, Nicholas Samadillo, 4th in the championship. He is 5th on the grid. He's got a good chance of getting some points. Very good points today. He's got his teammate Benny Watson alongside. It's not been a good year for Watson. Quite the opposite, really, of the 97, but he starts alongside. Number 52 of Roberto Crown Jr., as I said, still within a race off the championship lead. He comes at 23rd points. Starts 7th today. They start 7th today, rather. And Ethan Lewis in the 00 will start from the 8th position. Good starting spot for him. And then Brad Stover, the Talladega winner, will start from the 9th position. And Brandon Beal, number 37, our last winner and 2nd in the championship, will start from the top 10. We'll get this one underway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I hope this is all working. I don't see anybody in chat, so that's fun. So I hope this is working, because just before I was about to actually get this race underway, it actually had a little disconnection, so that was fun. But apparently, all good. No issues, I suppose. Unless someone... I don't know. Unless something happens. It would only be right that something went wrong. I know what happened last week. Everything was fine in that race, and then for some inexplicable reason, YouTube was just going all over the place. Don't know why. It was very annoying more than anything else. Let me see here. We good? I think we're good. Yes, we are. We're good. That's good. We'd like to see. So, James Stack and James Jefferson on the front row. It's an interesting front row of the grid. 2 winners in the series. Stack has actually won the first race of the year, but he hasn't really had a particularly good season. He's 16th in the points, but he hasn't really been competitive for wins since then. Of course, Jefferson had a couple of races there where we had a 3-race stretch where he was just unbelievably fast. That's what brought him up in the points, but he's dropped since. 12th in the championship coming into this race. They make up the front row of the grid and looking to get themselves back in the championship hunt, or at least in the case of Jefferson. James Stack's never really been in it outside of that Daytona win, so we'll see what happens here. It is a long lap, but we're about to get this one underway. I think everybody is rolling off. Looks like it, which is good. And here we go. Pace cars on pit road. Get it ready. 42 cars, 40 laps. James Stack and James Jefferson on the front row of the grid. 2 winners earlier in the year. Lead the field to the green at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Good start for the 23. Look at the gap he's pulled out already here on the opening lap. James Jefferson did clear the 36, but then got passed by the 36 anyway. So Chen now up into second. John Stewart made his way to the inside. He is going now underneath of the 54 for third. This is an interesting turn 4, in the sense that really either lane works. Sometimes the outside lane can work, but sometimes the bottom. It's an interesting turn, more than any other racetrack, any other turn on this racetrack. James Stack leads the first lap. Jerry Chen, I mean, those guys off to a phenomenal start as they've left the field in the dust. Stewart up to third, Roberto Crown Jr. up to fourth, and then Noon Agbar up to fifth. So 3 of the whole live cars up in the top 10, but the 54 dropping back early on here. Jefferson, and of course the whole life cars 52 and 53 were very quick last week as well at Watkins Glen. Both of them got top 5s, and here they are running 4th and 5th again as Akbar to the inside of Crown, and Nicholas Slaughter in the 20 right up behind trying to make it happen. And you can see the outside lane getting a good run off turn 4, and Crown will be able to hold the position for the time being as Chen tries to close in here on James Stack for the race lead. For the turn 1, not close enough. Pulled away here. We've got 3 wide. That's risky because 3 wide more often than not doesn't work. Oh, and Max Davis in the 6. They do clear it. Maybe a little bit of contact there with Perez. but they keep it together. So Davis now moving up a couple of positions, I think. You've got Samadeo back in here. You've got Watson here on the inside. Akbar, who was just challenging for the 4th position, dropping back big time. There's Brandon Beal in the 37. And there is Henry Gore in the 21. So the championship contenders trying to move their way forward. Samadeo did not get a good run off the turn. Now he's got Watson to deal with. Top 3 are all pretty close together. John Stewart's closed in here on this last lap. Stack holding firm at the front of the field. Chen under pressure here. John Stewart now looking to the inside. The 22 didn't have a good run at Canadian... sorry, not Canadian Tire. Watkins Glen. But he did win Kansas, and he did finish 2nd at South Boston. Didn't have a good run at Canadian Tire as well, actually. That's true. But, you know, at South Boston he finished 2nd. He won at Kansas. Doing all right, John Stewart. It's been not a great year for him. He's 21st in the points. So it could be a lot worse. It did look a lot worse for a while there, but he's up into 2nd place. It was allowed Stack to run away as clear air and well, no one alongside of the number 23 allowed him to pull away quite a bit there. As you look back here, Jefferson up into the 5th position. Max Davis. What can I say about Max Davis? He looked like a championship contender for ages. And then the last, I want to say, like 6 races have just been nothing but just a total disaster, if I'm being honest with you. He comes into this race tied for 30th in the championship. He's 126 off the championship lead. The winner at Oregon, it has not gone well in recent times, but he's having a good race at the moment. Running up, I think, in 7th. No, it's 6th because he got around Garrett Lamar, who also looked like a championship contender early on, but he's fallen back as Perez now looks to the inside. Can't do anything about that. Stack holds the lead. Chen is back on the back bumper of the 22 of John Stewart. He's going to look to the inside here to turn 1. This is probably the best place to overtake someone on the racetrack. Turn 1. Didn't get a great run through there, but neither did John Stewart. And now the 36 back up into 2nd place. And Stewart's going to try and get back past this 36. Brought Crown and Jefferson, the teammates, onto the back. See, maybe the 22, who's going to make the move? Will they all stick behind each other? They will. Going to hold station for now, although Stewart a little bit wide, and he's going to lose a bit of ground to the 36. And now Davis and company closing in. Davis, Perez, Samadeo. What a season he's had. Considering that he hasn't really been a contender for wins a lot of the time. He did finish 2nd earlier in the year, but hasn't been a contender most weeks. But he just continues to find his way up in the top 10 by the end of the race as Stewart tries to get to the inside of the 36, but the 36 not having a bar of that. You got to be careful. They can, you know, it's just when you're cutting down the racetrack, it can result in some crashes if you're not careful. Here comes the 22 though to the inside. You got Jefferson going to the inside behind. Braden Perez going to the inside. That was close. Stewart and Chen keep it off of each other, and Stewart's back up into 2nd place. And now Jefferson getting around his teammate Roberto Crown Jr., Braden Perez, and now Davis on the inside as well. So the 52 loses 3 spots in about 2 turns. Now Chen coming back at the 22. Good battle between these two guys as the 23 continues to hold the lead. Chen to the inside. Should clear the 22, and he will. Jerry Chen back up into 2nd place. And Jefferson trying to get back to the front. Or trying to get back to the front, front of the field. Of course, start on the front row. Perez has moved his way forward well. So has Davis. The Crown's been up here for a lot of the race. Lamar in the 31, as now here comes Stewart to the inside. These 2 turns here in particular, I said turn 4 can be a bit of a hard place to pass at times, but turn 3 as well is not a huge amount of grip, particularly as the tyres get into this run. Of course, the tyres are not going to be the biggest issue in this race. It's going to be the fuel. It depends really on if they could stay green the whole way. They've done a good job so far. They kept it relatively clean. We've only seen the 1-3 wide as John Stewart goes up to 2nd once again. And Chen trying to get the run off of turn 2. A Stack is a long way gone. He is over a 2nd in the lead at the moment. That's a very, very big gap, as now Davis falling back on the outside, Lamar on the inside, Noon Agbar on the inside. James Jefferson fell back a little bit behind his teammate Agbar. He's on the inside of Davis, so that's close. That's very close. In fact, it was contact. So that could have been very nasty there between Agbar and Garrett Lamar. We keep it together, though. That's the good thing. And Agbar, rather, getting around Lamar. And he is now up into 6th place. He's been good in recent times. He's actually moved his way through the field in the championship. 17th in the points. Was mired outside the top 30 for a while there. So you can really turn your season around, or at least a lot of drivers can. Not everybody can. You got guys down there that are like 200 points behind. Their seasons are just like almost certainly over. But because they're over 2 races back. But with the way the points format works, you could really jump a lot of positions. Jake Rogers won at South Boston, and he jumped 18 positions in the standings up into the top 10. So that's the way the system works. And I'll tell you what, that 1 second lead is gone. James Stack is about to lose the lead here, because here comes the 22 with a heck of a run down the front straightaway. Hasn't gone to the inside yet, but I think he will. Will he? Yes, he will. I don't think there was any contact into turn 1. And the 22. John Stewart takes the lead here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Oh, and Chen sliding up the racetrack a little bit. Almost opened the door for Perez to go to the inside. Keep it together. And Stack on the outside. I was kind of curious because he hasn't looked particularly fast. He held the lead mostly because everybody else, as Chen slides up the racetrack yet again, he didn't look particularly fast on the racetrack. He's just kind of holding the lead for a while there. But now he's fallen back into the clutches of back to 3rd in 1 lap, and was nearly 4th. Perez tried to get around him. John Stewart, once again, leading here in the series. We'll be on for another good afternoon today, as here comes, as you see, the 92. There's Akbar now to the inside of Roberto Crown, and Crown falling back as a result. Davis and Lamar, and now Jefferson, their teammate, and that's a bit of contact. It's not the first time we've seen contact between, well, the first time we've seen contact between the 2 teammates, but all 3 of the Hololive cars getting very close to one another, too close. Samuel Francis in the top 10. Will Parrish finished in the top 10 last week. That was his first top 10 of the year, Will Parrish. There's only one driver who hasn't done it. There's more contact. They're trying to cut down Roberto Crown Jr.'s tyre, the left rear. But Francis is the only driver that has not finished in the top 10 all season. And right now, he's running up in the 10th position. So you'll love to see that. He's also 41st in the points. So needs a good run today, as here comes Jerry Chen to the lead here in the number 36. Gets around John Stewart. And Stack's going to follow through here in the 23. Brendan Perez is going to try and follow through as well. Stewart falling back on that outside lane as Chen, he's looked fast throughout this race. Good battle with the 22 for a while there. Kind of kept getting in their own way, but he looks fast. Stack back up to 2nd, Perez. And then Stewart on the outside here. Agbar trying to find a way around the 22. He's going to have the inside here for turn number 4. Oh, a bit of contact in the left rear. They're still going on with it, on with it, on with it. Oh, there goes the 22. Into the wall. James Jefferson. Samuel Francis. Garrett Lamar on pit road, I think that is. Oh, it is. Oh. And he's overshot. Oh, my goodness. That was ridiculous. The caution's out. And the 22 of Stewart, the 54 of Jefferson, the 31 of Lamar on pit road, and Samuel Francis in the 21. He blew up. A lot of damage there. You can see, there he is. Yep, blowing up. He's out of this one. What a shame for the 21. As I said, I've jinxed him. I jinxed him. That's the commentator curse. I'm sorry, Samuel. That's very disappointing for him. But Jerry Chen's the race leader. James Stack is 2nd. Brendan Perez, Noon Agbar, Max Davis. That's your top 5 now. Ethan Lewis, Roberto Crown Jr., Will Parrish up in the top 10 once again. Echo Evans Ross and Logan Williams, the top 10. And so now on lap 14. These guys, if this race had stayed green, they'd be coming in towards the back end of the race, or maybe they'd even try and make it the whole way. Of course, we saw that at Auto Club earlier in the year. Some cars made it on fuel, didn't need to pit. But you'd think now that there's an opportunity to pit, But they're all going to pit. And what is going on back here? What is happening? What is Caleb Rose doing? They must be out of order. I think. Someone's out of order here. So, Brandon Beal. Beal is 15th. So, Brad Stover, I think. Where's the 29? There's the 29. So, Stover's actually should be overtaking these guys. But he isn't for whatever reason. Oh, well. Whatever. We'll follow here with the 23. See, a couple of cars are done. 36, 53, 92. And Chen's going to win the race off of pit road. James Stack will be second. Perez, Agbar, and I think Max Davis did get Ethan Lewis. So nothing really changes there. I think the top 10 will remain the same, actually, off of pit road. So good job from the guys down there at Gifford Technologies Incorporated to keep that car in the lead. Now let's try and figure out what happened here. It was the 22 of John Stewart, as they're still trying to sort this out. I haven't sorted this out yet. Oh, look at the damage on Noah Clifton's car. I don't think he was involved in the crash, so there might be more to this. And maybe that's why Stover wasn't overtaking people, perhaps. So John Stewart was the one who got turned. And this was a really unnecessary accident. Like a really unnecessary accident. I don't know why this happened. So we'll go back here and try and figure this out. So there's the 22. He's on the outside. Let's see. I'm just trying to find the right camera angle. See, 22's on the outside. I don't think there's any previous contact. I don't think there's any previous contact between these two cars. But for whatever reason here, you're going to see 53's on the inside. Oh, Stewart's going to try and... Yeah, Stewart's trying to take the racing line. You can kind of see he's trying to take the racing line and follow the 92. Kind of cuts down. The 53 is still there. But then I don't know why they need to keep... I don't know why Agbar needed to keep going on with this. Oh, and there's... Yeah, Lamar did get a piece of that in the 31. And there's Jefferson. I mean, he had nowhere to go. And Samuel Francis, nowhere to go. Was super unlucky. The 22 decides to stay on the racetrack. Jefferson comes straight down to pit road. I think he does. Yeah, he does. No, he will. But that was unnecessary. And look at you see, there's the 21 blowing up. What a shame for Francis. Man, can you believe that? The 25 doesn't have damage at this point. So there is more to that. We'll figure that out. But that was totally unnecessary. I don't know why Noon Bar needed to continue going on with that. 22 probably should have cut down, but the 53 probably shouldn't have just kept going with it. He just dumps him. I don't get that. A lot of damage there. On at least 4 cars. Well, not so much damage on the 31, but he had a issue. He missed his pit stall. And now he's going. Yeah, okay. I don't know what that was all about. Might as well just keep going down pit road. I don't think he would have been penalised for it anyway. So anyway, whatever. So there is more to this because the 25 had a lot of front end damage. It doesn't even have it yet. So does the 29? What happens with the 29? Oh, they all stack up into each other. There you go. Oh, yeah. They all ran into the back of each other. That's where the 25 got his damage. Oh, and the 41. 72. 41 gets turned. Anthony. Cleese. Yeah, this is average day in NR. Oh, that was... Yeah, kind of came down on Chase Harris there. Crampton did. That was weird. So that's where the 25 goes down. So that, yeah, okay. Well, the Rogers is even damage. Yeah, I don't know what happens to 29. Is there something more to this? Or like what? They just stop behind. They're going 40 miles an hour through here. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So, whatever. Sure, there's a reason. Well, I don't know. we'll try and figure that out as we go. But lights are out. There's the 22 getting to the back of the field. He's got his whole rear end missing. So 36, Jerry Chen leads the race. On the race off the pit road, James Stack is second. Braden Perez, Noon Agbar, and Max Davis. That's your top 5. Ethan Lewis, Will Parrish, Echo Evans Ross up into 8th. Logan Williams, Nicholas Slaughter. I'm not sure who was in the top 10. Maybe Crown, perhaps? Was in the top 10. It may have been the one that had the slow pit stop, perhaps. In terms of the cars out, the 54, the 56, the 25, and the 21, I think, are all out of the race. Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, so those will be the cars out, and of course the 22 is a lap down. A lot of cars now with damage at the rear of the field because of that stack-up effect, including our points leader, who right now, as it stands, is, where is Thomas Troxel? 31st in the race. So he's gained 6 positions, but still a long way down the order. And so is Alejandro Cruz Jr. Get my juniors go. I get them confused all the time. I shouldn't be doing that. I have completely different cars. It's just the junior. At the end, it does it for me. I shouldn't be doing that. But Jerry Chen doing a nice job here in the number 36. And he will lead the field back to the green once the pace car comes down onto pit road, which will be right about now. Funk Soul Brother, check it out now. I won't get copyrighted for that, right? Hopefully not. Jerry Chen, lead the field back to the green. Here we go. Green flag. We're underway. Good start for the top 2. Not so good start for Braden Perez. There's Noon Akbar all over the back. Might go to the inside of Perez here for the 3rd position. And Stack looking to find a way around Jerry Chen here for the lead. And now Ethan Lewis is getting into the fight here in the 0-0. A little bit of contact there as he slid up the racetrack. A little bit of contact with Perez. They keep it together. Davis fell back, and you've got Parrish back in here looking to swoop. He might go to the inside of Davis. Akbar trying to get to the inside here of the 23. Up into 2nd. Here he comes as we have another caution on the racetrack. Ricardo Garcia. I think it's a 1-car crash. Ricardo Garcia in the 33. Race back to the line. It's going to be won by Jerry Chen. And 2nd place at the line will be Noon Akbar. 3rd will be James Stack. And then 4th is Ethan Lewis across the line. And then Will Parrish in the 5th spot. So, once again, quick caution. Seen it a couple times this year where cautions breed cautions. We go a long way into a race without having one, and then kind of just have one at a time. Oh, here we go. Oh boy, don't run into the back of each other. Oh, they're running into the back of each other. Jared Oren runs straight into the back of John Stewart. Oh boy, don't run into the back of... Come on. You're not even going that fast. Just don't do it, man. Look, you can see the damage on the 72. Looks like now 33 is not going to run at the back of the 72. And so, James Stack supposed to be ahead of. We got 2 cars that are long gone from everyone else. James Stack is supposed to be ahead of both the 00 and the 02, and they're doing this again. This is fun. This is fun. I like it when the AI just loses their mind for whatever reason. Like, you can't just drive around the guys. Come on now. Not being honest. But, well, these two don't care. They don't care. Jerry Chen and Noon Akbar. Let's try and figure out what happened to the 33. Real quick here. So, Kelly Lee is the one behind here in the 26. So we'll see. He gets a good run through turn 1. It's kind of happened I think it happened turn 2. He goes to the inside. Ricardo Garcia comes out. And, yeah, so those two wheels locked with one another. That's what happened. Those two wheels, the right front of the 26 and the left rear of the 33, they got hooked together. And it sent the 33... Oh, they sent both of them up the racetrack. Oh, my goodness. Jared Oren nearly collected the 33 right there. It was interlocked wheels that... it's the downfall there on the 33 of Ricardo Garcia. And it'll shoot the back up the racetrack in turn 2. And then the 36 will end up taking out the 33 right there. Because the 26 is trying to hang on to it as well. 26 is out of control. And luckily, just a one-car accident. It could have been a lot more. And of course, they ended up running into... Like, the 72 ended up running into the back of the 22 anyway, so... Don't really matter. Jerry Chen is the leader. Now, I'm pretty sure they didn't pit under the last caution. No, they didn't. And they're still doing that, so that's fun. There we go. I got it sorted. There we go. About time. But, go back. Lights are out on the pace car, and that's a new thing. The 22 getting waved. He's now back on the lead lap, John Stewart, because he wasn't involved in the last crash and didn't pit under the caution. So 22 gets his lap back. But it's not going to matter anyway. He's not going to compete for the win, but good result for him. Jerry Chen's the race leader. Noon Akbar, James Stack, Ethan Lewis, Will Parrish the top 5. Braden Perez, Max Davis, Echo Evans Ross, Braden Perez, a teammate of course, Pacific Racing, Logan Williams, and Nicolas Slaughter the top 10. In terms of the cars out, I don't think we'd have anyone out, although actually, yeah, no, the 72. So Jared Oren ran into the back of John Stewart and finished off the Paramount Honda, and that's a shame. 22 should be catching up to the back of the pack. That's good. Going at a decent speed, but nothing too crazy. Still only the 5 cars out of the race. We've got 2 cautions in very quick order. I'm scared now for the back end of this race. This may turn into a bit of a mess at the end, potentially. That's a scary prospect. We don't want that kind of thing where guys are just taking each other out consistently. We don't want that. So here's to hoping they can. We don't see a bajillion cars out of this race by the end. Pace car's going to come on the pit road. There it goes. We've got 18 laps to go this time, so we're over halfway. That's a good thing. We're over halfway. Jerry Chen still leading from Akbar, Stack, Lewis, and Parrish. And here we go. Green flag. Restart number 2 of the afternoon. And a good start for Chen. He got a little bit of gap on the 53. He got a little bit of gap on the 23. But they're still relatively close once, well, to each other. Akbar's got a good run off of turn 2. Is he going to look to the inside here? Lewis is all over the back of the 23 as well. There goes Akbar to the inside of Jerry Chen. And Lewis to the inside of Stack behind them. Top 5. All very close to one another. Lewis trying to make it 3 wide in turn 4. Won't do it. Well, 36. He's going to hold on that outside lane. Jerry Chen holds the lead. Lewis now with a good run. He's got help from the 0-2 of Will Parrish. 2 of the back markers in the championship. Lewis is second, and Parrish, I think, will get to third, and he will. Second and third for these 2 guys. And now Stack on the inside of the 53 of Akbar. And Davis back in there in the 6. Got the Pacific Racing teammates back in here, and Evans, Ross, and Perez battling for position. Lewis is closing in here on the 36 as well. He's very close to the back. I'm going to make a move as you see Davis here on the inside of the 35, or 53 rather, sliding up the racetrack. We got an issue for the 23. James Stack hitting pit road. He was running in the 4th position. And something has happened. Not sure what. Maybe a tyre. Oh, and Brad Stover off of pit road as well. So, I'm not sure what the problem is there. The 29 and the 23. Both hitting pit road. Now, you've got to be careful with Stover because he's coming out right back into the pack. Oh, that is very, very, very close. And he's going to hold up Milers. He's going to hold up Palmer. Palmer's probably going to be the biggest loser. He's now on the outside. That's a shame. We're all going haywire back here. 20 on the inside of the 92. These guys are... Where are these guys? These guys are way down there. I think they're 6th, I think. Not way down. But oh, and 00 took the lead. I totally missed that. Ethan Lewis has gone to the front of the field. So Lewis, who has had a very, very, very bad season, actually led a lap for the first time last week at Watkins Glen on an alternate strategy late in the race. Took the lead away from Jerry Chen, and I didn't even realise. So 00 to the lead. But Chen is all over the back. He's going to try and find a way back past Danger Zone Autosport Honda. Now, can we see a 12th different team go to victory lane? Because Ethan Lewis, Danger Zone Autosport, they have not won a race this year. They're one of the few teams, they're one of the 3 teams that haven't done it. All the other teams behind in this top 5 have. There's only one man in this top 5, one person in this top 5 that's actually won a race, and that's Max Davis. He's 4th. On all these other teams, Henry Gore won a race for Gifford Technologies Incorporated. John Stewart won for Collins Racing. Of course, Davis won at Oregon for Seminole Motors, and Caleb Rose won for Pacific Racing Canadian Tire. That's the top 5, and they are long gone. Nicholas Samadeo in the 97. This is another car that another team that hasn't won yet. NS Racing. We've got 2 cars in 6th and 8th at the moment. They're a fair way behind this top 5, and they're dropping Evans Ross in the 62. It may be just a 4-car breakaway here. We've got 13 laps to go this time. Of course, everyone will make it on fuel. That's not going to be an issue. See, there's the 23 off in the distance. That's a shame for James Stack, whatever the problem was. I don't know where Brad Stover ended up. Where is the 29? There's the 29. Of course, Stover would be a lap down. Yes, he is. So Stover's a lap down, and James Stack is 36th. That is a huge blow for the 23, who started on the pole, and it led a lot of laps in this race, but now he's way down to the back. And I totally missed Will Parrish getting to 2nd, Max Davis getting to 3rd, and Chen dropping to 4th. And how about this? The 00, and the 02. 1 and 2 at Indianapolis. Ethan Lewis is dead last in the championship. He won't be after this race because Samuel Francis is out of the race. So he will not be last in the championship after this race. I can guarantee that. But Will Parrish as well. Where is Will Parrish? 38th in the championship. And yet here these guys are running 1 and 2 as Davis now under pressure from Chen. They have dropped 6th place. Nicholas Samadeo. He is a long, long way back. And these guys are dropping Davis. And Echo Evans Ross is getting back into this as well, the 62. So coming to 11 to go this time. And Ethan Lewis leading the way for Danger Zone Autosport. They're looking for their first win of the year. Be a huge moment for a team that's had a dismal season. Chase Harris is the highest driver in points. It's a 4-car team as John Stewart's on pit road. So, there might be a few mechanical gremlins sneaking in because the 29 and the 23, maybe tyres perhaps, the 2022 on pit road. So, a few mechanical gremlins starting to kick in here as the 6 now of Davis has closed in here onto the back of the 02 of Will Parrish. And Davis, as I said, it's been a tumultuous run of form for him. Last, I want to say 6 races have been dismal, maybe 7. He's had finished outside the top 30 in each of those races. Last time out of Watkins Glen, he had that really bizarre moment where he just kind of blocked the racetrack and nearly cost Brandy Beal the win. He's running in third at the moment, and Parrish got one heck of a launch off of turn 4. Slingshot to the inside, and he leads with 10 laps to go. Davis now up into second. I don't know what happened to Lewis. He must have had a really poor run through turn 4 because he just got no run in comparison to the 0-2. But Will Parrish, who for the first half of the year didn't get a top 10 in a race, now leads here at Indianapolis with less than 10 to go. Davis, though, he wants a second win of the year. He wants to become the first driver to get 2 wins on the season. He is quite... I felt like he may have been close enough, but didn't look to the inside there. Jerry Chen getting back into it in the 36, and you got the 00 back to 4th. Evans Ross 5th, and there's still a huge gap back to the NS Racing boys, Samadeo and Watson. They are 6th and 7th. Brandon Beals up to 8th. And Logan Williams and Nicholas Slaughter, that's the top 10. Good run for Brandon Beal in the championship at the moment. Now Chen looking to the inside here at Davis. He's got to the inside. He got to the left rear of the 6. And Chen has led the most laps in this race. He wants to get back to the race lead. And the inside has got help from Lewis, pushing him into turn number 3. Davis trying to fight back on the outside. Unless we have another caution, it looks like it'll be one of these 5 will win this race. Chen, who has been the fastest car, I'd be willing to say, all day. Now up into the 2nd position with Davis in 3rd and Lewis under pressure here from Evans Ross. Will Parrish continuing the lead. Wouldn't this be a great moment for him in what has been a terrible season? You know what? I think Eli Bright, their other car, has been their best driver overall. He's led a lot of laps this year, Eli Bright. He's been qualifying for the most part pretty well. Didn't qualify well today, but led a lot of laps. He's been in contention for wins. John Stewart and Will Parrish were so far down the championship for a long, long time, and Parrish is obviously still in the bottom 5 in the championship. But both those guys could have wins, because Parrish, with a fantastic run through turn 4, he gets through turn 4 really well, and he saw it before when he got around the 00, who's now dropped to 5th. Evans Ross up to 4th. He got around the 00. He flew by him. Davis all over the back of the 36. They've still got a big gap back to the cars behind, although the gap has dwindled just a little bit. Watson, this is a fantastic run for Watson. He's 39th in points, so he's actually lower than Will Parrish in the points. And right now he's running in the 6th position. He's got his teammate Samadeo right behind him, and then Brandon Beal. So a great run for those two as now Samadeo gets to the inside. Inside for 6th. And Beal's going to try and follow through. And it looks like Beal will get Watson here for the 7th position. He will clear him here. What a run for these two guys. Now Davis to the inside for 2nd. Can he? Oh, 36 really wanted to shut the door. We saw that obviously earlier on in the last crash with Garcia, and we saw it with Stewart before in the first crash. That do like to try and block off an overtake. And it didn't end well for those two guys, but Chen pulled out of it at the last minute. He drops back to 3rd. There's now under pressure from Evans Ross. So Evans Ross trying to get to the 3rd position. Can Chen clear? No, he cannot. And Echo Evans Ross in the 62. Looks like she will get up into the 3rd position. And Lewis now to the inside of Chen. So Chen falling back in the number 36. And now Davis coming to 5 laps to go. There's a car on pit road. Garrett Lamar, it's been what a day for Lamar. Now Davis, all over the back of the 02. Had to check up just a little bit. Parrish just had a little bit of just got a bit of a gap there between turns 1 and 2. Now how does the 31 come into play? Because he will affect this, you would think. And how does the 6 use it to his advantage? That's the question. But Parrish doing a good job holding on for the time being. They're going to be coming to 4 laps to go this time. Will Parrish Looking for a first win of the year. A second win for Collins Racing this year. Davis looking for his second win of the year. Nico Evans-Ross, Jerry Chen, both looking for their team's second win as well. Now they're going to get to the 31. Now how does the O2 has got to find a way around the 31, because I think the 31, I'm not sure if he has any like actual. I don't think he got it. He got clipped in the left rear. I don't think he actually hit anything, but he might have more of an issue than he's letting on. As now Parrish tries to go to the inside of Lamar to put him a lap down. Davis didn't jump. Evans-Ross now on the back of the 6. They're coming to 3 laps to go this time, and they have got to find a way around this 31 in quick order. Now there goes Parrish with a good run off of turn 4 down the front. 3 to go. The caution comes out now. The race is over. Once they get back to the start-finish line. Parrish, Davis are going to get past. Evans-Ross trying to get around this number 31. The 31, not really in the mood to be lapped. But Jerry Chen pushing down the back. He's still a part of this as well. Now Davis trying to, just can't find a place where he's close enough to try and get around. He doesn't have a good enough run. He might have a run here into turn 4. He will not. He's going to hang back, at least for the time being. And now, Parrish holding on to the lead. Davis all over the back. We got cars on pit road. Ricardo Garcia, Chase Harris. We got others on pit road. The 74. Here comes Evans-Ross now to the inside for second. She jumped before Davis could. That's good news for Will Parrish, who extends the lead, but Evans-Ross is up into second place. And now Chen trying to get to third. They got Samet Oskin coming off of pit road. Oh boy. What does Will Parrish do here? Look at the run that Evans-Ross got off of turn 2. And now can she get to the inside of Parrish? Not really sure what to do about the 74. Here comes Evans-Ross to the inside. Into turn 4. Oh, she had to check up for a moment. Coming to the white flag this time. 1 lap to go. We're going to have more cars coming off of pit road. 2 of the Amaris Nichols cars. Parrish leads at the line. Evans-Ross into turn 1. She's got it. She goes to the lead, but here comes Jerry Chen to second. Parrish to third. What happens with the lap cars? Sebastian Palmer, Henrik Waugh off of pit road. Where does the 62 go? She's got a bit of a gap back on Chen. Oh boy, she's going to the outside of the 15. Here comes Parrish to the inside for second. Echo Evans-Ross in the 62 into turn number 4. They're trying to go 3 wide. Chen almost made it 3 wide through the middle with Parrish on the inside. Echo Evans-Ross to the stripe. It's going to win for Pacific Racing at Indianapolis. And she led 1 lap. 1 lap. That was it. Wow. How about that? 1 lap was all she led. And she wins her first race of the year. So 12 different drivers have gone to victory lane, but Pacific Racing are the first team to win 2 races this year. Took 12 races, but we finally have a multi-time winner in terms of the teams. And it's Pacific Racing. Echo Evans-Ross, the winner. How about the 36? I thought Chen was going to get to the inside of the 62 for a moment. Couldn't quite. What a performance from Chen, though. He was up there all day. He deserves a round of applause. Congrats to him. Well done to Will Parrish as well. That was a fantastic result. I know it wasn't the win. Kind of blew it at the end, really, but that's a really good run for him. Ethan Lewis finished 4th, and Max Davis, happy for Max Davis and Ethan Lewis. Attaboy to those 2 as well. 4th and 5th, and Brandon Beal 6th. Sam Medea 7th. I just missed Evans-Ross. There you go. But, how about that? Wow. What a finish. Indianapolis, 2 cautions. They happened around the same time, but a fantastic finish at the end there. Rest of the results. So Beal 6th, Samedeo 7th. How about Benny Watson? Attaboy to him as well. 8th place. Don't think that's a season best, but it'll be his second top 10 of the year. Logan Williams again in the top 10. Noon Agbar. Man, he's been performing really well in recent weeks, and even though he dumped the 22 in this race, finishes up in the top 10. You see the rest of the results, 11th through to 20th. And Alejandro Cruz actually made his way up to 16th, so that's a good performance there. You see James Stack. Where did James Stack end up? That'll be the question. Troxel ended up 21st. So with Beal finishing 6th, Beal will take the championship lead. Because the 71 pitted. 71 finished 28th. So Beal leads the championship. I think Samedeo will be second. I think the 97. The 97 finished right behind Beal. So, yeah. So it will be Beal, then Samedeo, and then probably and then it will be Troxel. Troxel will be third in the championship. Gore, I think, should hold on to 4th. I don't think he's going to drop any further than that, but not exactly an ideal race there. James Stack actually finished 24th, so it could have been a lot worse for him, but still, he'd be disappointed. He's got a lot of those cars. Bright. Owen Miles was in the top 10. He finished 26th, so he obviously pitted as well. Rose. And you had the 71, 74, the 15 pitted. The 31, I don't know what happened to the 31. Because he was a little bit slow. I think he might have had more of a mechanical problem. Rogers 32nd. That's a blow for him. Kelly Lee 33rd. Stover, Harris, and Garcia. They were the ones that finished the lap down. And then Stewart, Oren, Francis, Clifton, McLeese, and James Jefferson, the front row, to last. Involved in that crash early on in the race. A brutal blow. But how about Echo Evans-Ross? First win of the year for her. Second win of the year for Pacific Racing. Congrats to those guys. And the next race is at Michigan. That'll be next week, and then we'll have the week off afterwards. And then we head to Minnesota, which will be interesting. Because that's a racetrack I have never done before. So that should be good fun. But congratulations to Echo Evans-Ross and Pacific Racing on the win. And we'll see everybody next week at the Michigan International